welcome to another brand new episode here on Fs25. And we all hate water. Right, what are we doing today? Well, as promised in the last episode, or the end of the last episode, today we're going to get the ridging done. And then we're going to get the carrots planted. And then we can move on. Thankfully, the game does recognise that you don't want to be rolling carrots. So we won't have none of that to do, which is good. And and then we can, as I say, we can then skip forward a day and get on with doing our canola, which is going to be good because it's going to be a good source of income. So most of the crops, as you can see, I've sort of sold off. I haven't kept, i.e. the barley at the moment, but it'll be the same with the canola. We'll sell it directly from the field. I don't need to keep hold of it. I can't really do much with it at the moment in time, so it'll just be sold off. It'll generate a little bit of money, and hopefully between now and carrot harvest, we will be able to find ourselves a harvester, and we'll obviously have the money to do that. And we'll also be looking at some new land, and also as well getting the pigs as well. So yeah, just at the moment we're just, as we get stuff we sell it, because it's allowing us to trade. We're not always necessarily getting the best price for it probably, but at the same time we are still getting, I don't take it for no less than what the best price is. So as long as it's on the best price or above the best price at any given time of the year, I sell it, and that's what we do. So yeah, it does mean if a great demand comes in, you do miss out on money, but it's too much of a risk to wait around for great demands, and you never know whether they are going to happen or whether they don't happen. My experience of Fs25 at the moment is that they're quite sporadic. I've had a couple, but I've not really had that many. So it's a bit like the tornadoes, which I like. This is not a criticism. I like it. It doesn't happen all year round in real life. So I like it. I like it a lot. It's much better this way. In Fs22 you used to get a great demand of some sort every day. So it was worth holding on to stuff because you knew at some point there was going to be a great demand of it. And if you hadn't sold any for 2 years, because again, crops don't go off or anything on this game, which, is fair enough. I understand that. And if you've got the capacity to stockpile it until a great demand comes in, then yeah, my advice would definitely be stockpile it. So yeah, don't, I'm not picking on the game. I like the fact that it's not all the time and that it comes along sporadically, because it just puts it down to luck, rather than just thinking, I know at some point between this harvest and next harvest there's going to be a great demand, so I'll just hold on to it, and I like it this way. And as I've said before many times, I'm absolutely delighted with the in terms of the tornadoes, and the fact that they happen. I think the last time we had one on this save was probably about 2 years ago. So yeah, I like that as well. I think they've done a fabulous job. The only thing I would say is that the hail damage is a little bit too much maybe, but yeah, not enough for me to want to turn that off or to complain about it. But it is every year. It is every year that we're getting little patches in the field, like that one, sort of straight ahead, and then just slightly to the left. You can see it there. But if that's all it is, I can live with that. That's no problem. And since they've patched it a couple of times, you don't have to plough it now, so you can work over the top of it, which is what you'd be able to do. So yeah, it's pretty good. I like it. But yeah, so we'll be selling everything, as I say, from the field, the same as we do the produce, just because it means that we've always got plenty of money to be trading with. And whether that's new land, whether that's new equipment or whatever. I mean, it's not brand new equipment. I think pretty much everything on this farm is secondhand. So yeah, I think everything on this farm is secondhand. So, well, most of it anyway. I'm not going to say everything is, but I think the vast majority of it is. Yeah, as I say, that's pretty cool. That's pretty good. We don't need to be buying new. Personally, it's the same for me in real life. I just think there's so much. Unless you're one of the really big farms in this country, I just think there are enough big farms that pay an absolute fortune to have their tractors serviced at all the right intervals and do all of the things at the right time. They get well looked after because they spend a lot of money on them. They tend to, as well, the bigger farms tend to have the much better standard of tractor driver and everything on them as well. So therefore, for a sort of medium-sized farm, maybe to a good small-sized farm, to pick up their second-hand machinery is as good as buying a brand new one. It's just half the price, or perhaps not directly half the price, but you know what I'm saying. There's a big saving to be had, and so I definitely see the benefits of really looking around and really sort of doing a bit of research of where it's come from, who owned it before you, and then going have a sneaky little look at their farm and okay, what sort, and think, yeah, actually that should be a pretty good machine, to be fair, so yeah, I see no reasons why not, and that's all I'm saying. So hopefully you're all having a good day, and your day is going how you would hope, want, and expect, and enjoying your Sunday. I know it's mid-afternoon now at 3 o'clock, but we've gone 3 now, about, what is it now, about 8 to 10 minutes past 3. So yeah, but my day not going too bad. It's funny enough, it's the afternoon actually when I'm recording this, and yeah, the day's going all right. The day is not going too bad. I've got to go out in a minute, which I'm not looking forward to, but it needs to be done. Tomorrow I've got the car MOT. Well, no, not tomorrow, because that'll be Monday. So Tuesday I've got the car MOT. So yeah, looking forward to that, and some repairs as well. So we're having repairs done first, and then the MOT. The MOT is not due for about 2 months, but or at least a month. And I just thought, you know what, I might as well just get it all done while I'm there. So I know I'm going to be losing a month or so, or 6 weeks or whatever. But I thought, because the stock car season starts, so it started yesterday. As you're watching this today, it started yesterday. But for me, recording this, it starts on Saturday, and I need the car to be, in good working order and ready to start sort of delivering me around the country. So we starts off fairly light. This year I'm going to try and go to as many meetings as I can. So last year I tended to keep it to Kings Lynn and Great Yarmouth, and didn't really travel anywhere else. I went to Skeg at least once. I think it was twice I went to Skegness. Maybe, I think it was, I definitely went once anyway. But yeah, this year I'm looking to do as many as I can, and I've just sort of kind of been copying down this morning the fixture list, and the Easter weekend is going to be a very busy weekend. So I'm in Skegness on the Friday, Kings Lynn on the Saturday, I'm at Northampton on the Sunday, and then Monday I'm at Mildenhall. Tuesday I'm at Great Yarmouth, and then I've got a couple of days off before I go back to Great Yarmouth again on the Thursday. And then I've got another couple of days off before I'm back to Skeg, and then Northampton on the Sunday. And then the following weekend I'm at Hensford and Mildenhall, I think it is. So it's busy sort of couple of weeks there with lots of travelling. And you know, I don't mind driving. I like driving. I enjoy driving. I don't like driving very far. I don't like using motorways, and I don't like using really big, busy A roads. But however, you know, if I'm going to be doing the things that I want to do this year, then unfortunately, I'm going to have to get myself used to doing it. And one of the things that I do want to sort of and eliminate a worry is I do want to think that I have got a reliable car. And to be fair, touch wood, my car has never let me down, but it has now. I mean, it's got to that age now. I've had it a few years now. I've had it about 10, 11 years now. The car. Which means I think it's about 15 years old now, the car. I bought it when it was quite new, 2 or 3 years old, 4 years old maybe, well 5 years old actually, and it's now just done over 100,000 miles, so it's starting to have a few little things and bits and pieces that are going on it, but so far, again, touch wood, nothing major. All little niggly bits. So need a new brake switch because the brake lights just remain permanently on all the time now. So I got pulled over a little while ago, and the policeman, very nice policeman, said to me, he said, "I don't know how you're managing it, but you're braking and accelerating at the same time." And I said, "Ah," and he said, "I think your brake switch may have gone." So to be fair to him, you know, he could have been awkward and, you know, not very nice about the whole thing. And he was very nice about the whole thing because he said, "Would you mind if I have a look?" And I said, "No." And he fiddled with some bits and it seemed to solve the problem. And he just said, like, you know, get it to a garage as soon as you can and just get that changed out. He said, because it is worn. You know, it has now worn. And he solved the problem. And he said, like, you know, as far as I'm concerned, it isn't broken anymore, so you can carry on. And that was all that was said and done. So there are still some decent policemen about, because I did come across about a year and a half ago a very pleasant police officer, yes, who's currently, I'm watching him sort of every Sunday now at the moment on Police Interceptors from the Boston area, and that's all I'm saying, Dan Brigginshaw. Whoops, sorry. But yes, he was not so pleasant. He was not a very nice policeman to deal with. And when you get that situation, you just think, I'm never going to be right. There's no point arguing. So I just kept going, yeah, 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 yeah. And it was winding him up. But the thing was, there was no point me arguing. And then when he was like, "Do you just say yes to everyone?" And I just said, "Well, no." I said, "I don't, but there's no point me arguing with you because I'm not going to be right whatever." So I said, "Therefore, if I'm not going to be right, you may as well be, right?" I said, "Because I ain't going to be able to." I said, "Like, you're just in one of those moods at the moment where, you know," I said, "you're just reading the right act." I said, "And literally, you know, I've done nothing wrong." I said, "Because you've been all around my car looking for faults and looking for defects and everything." I said, "And there's 4 brand new tyres. Every light works as it should. Every indicator works as it should." I said, "Yet you're still doing, you know, you're still going around my car." I said, like, looking for something. So I said, "You just get on with it." I said, "Because you ain't going to find nothing." I said, "You've checked to see whether I'm insured, whether I've got a license." I said, "Even though I showed you my license, showed you that it was valid." I said, "You've still done all the background checks on me. It's come back, not a single offence in the world." I said, "You just carry on." I said, "And I'm not arguing." So I said, "Every time you say something and it requires a yes answer or a no answer," I said, "I'll just be answering yes or no." I said, "You know, I've answered all your questions. I've done everything that you've wanted me to do. I've not withheld information. I've not been awkward. I've not been difficult." I said, "But you're being very awkward and difficult with me." I said, "So you carry on." And with that, I was told to get in my car and get lost. So, which was handy because the reason why he pulled me over in the first place was I was lost. and I was kind of driving and looking at road signs and different things, and of course he caught me looking at the road signs, not looking at the road, and pulled me over for, well, trying to pull me over for driving without due care and attention. And I said, well, if I'm not supposed to look at the road signs, why are they there? And he was like, well, they're there for passengers. And I said, well, I don't have a passenger. You know, I said the only passenger I've got, which at the time I had my son on me and with me, and I think he was like 3 at the time, 4 maybe. I said, you know, so what am I going to do? Oh, you know, just read the road signs for me, will you? Tell me where Dad wants to go, needs to be. You know, it wasn't never going to happen, was it? But yeah, anyway. Enough about all of that. I'm going to switch over to a little bit of time lapse and get this field done. We've got the field behind me to do, and then we've got the 2 other fields to do, and then the fields that we did yesterday with the cultivator and, well, the combine, the baler, and the cultivator. And then once we get them done, we can then go to the store. We can pick up the planter, and we can crack on. So as I say, I'm going to switch over to a little bit of time lapse, and we'll try and get these all these fields planted today. That's my aim. Whether or not I get it done or not, I don't know, but that is my aim. But it will remain to be seen whether that is what happens. Yeah, that's why that's doing that, James. So we're going to have to overlap because unfortunately it can't quite work out. Or it's not that the game can't work out, the field's not quite wide enough or narrow enough for me, so I'm going to have to overlap by quite a bit. But you wouldn't do this in real life, but you know, with farming sim there's not a lot of choice, so we'll just do it this way. But anyway, I'm going to switch over to that little bit of time lapse and I'll see you all in a minute. Bye for now. Right, me again. So, not gonna lie, the field that we've just pre-ridged before we come to plant this field, disaster, but I can rescue that. This one, even more of a disaster. What a waste of time it was pre-ridging it, just for this planter to go, no, I don't like the ridges, I'll just flatten them out if you don't mind. So we'll just do this field, because otherwise it would have looked a bit odd. So we'll do this field, and then what we'll do is this was a mod that I found that I just wanted to try, because it was slightly wider than the sort of in-game one, if you like. This is 8.1 meters, where the in-game one is 6 meters, I think. And so I thought, well, I'll give it a go. But I didn't envisage that it would flatten out the ridges. So, you know, never mind. Live and learn. I only hired this, so in all fairness, we haven't lost a great deal because I did only hire it. So we'll be able to just send it back, because the one that I did buy, the original 6 meter veg planter, is still there. So had I have thought, I should have just put it on the front of the tractor, and then if this didn't work for whatever reason, you know, I could have used that then. But it's a bit disappointing, but it's not the end of the world. But I do like to try and do things properly if I can, and this isn't properly now, and it's beginning to kind of get to me. Never mind. So yeah, so if you're wondering why there's quite a bit of lag in and around the, I don't know if that's shown up in the time lapse or not. Sometimes the lag does and sometimes it doesn't. But the reason it is because, as I said, I installed the patch before I played today, and of course what I keep forgetting is, although it does remind you on the website, but I keep forgetting that when you install a patch and then play it for the first time, it is a little bit laggy and a little bit jumpy. Something to do with, is it the shaders or something, or text, or whatever it is. I'm not really sure what it is, but that needs to be sort of redone, and that does make the game, the first time you play it, a little bit laggy. Had I remembered about that, I would have loaded the game in, just played it for like 10 minutes or whatever, and then closed the game down and then reloaded it, and then it would have been fine. But that's the reason why it's a little bit stuttery around buildings at the moment. It's fine when we're out in the middle of a field, it doesn't seem to be affecting it too bad, but just when we're in and around buildings and, as I say, the farm and the town, it was just affecting it slightly. But that's the only reason. There's nothing wrong. It's not the game. You know, it's just because I've updated from the patch. I mean, I bought myself the last patch that came out for Fs25 on Sunday, which for you would so for me yesterday. So I bought the last DLC for Fs25 because I didn't originally buy it, but like I say, I do. You know, most of my playing is still Fs25. I absolutely love the game, and yeah, so I bought that DLC, and that then straight away offered me a patch, and I installed it, and you know, it's the same on there. So, and I think it was the same in 19 as well, if I remember correctly. But or was 19 the one where we still had to download it from Giants themselves? I can't remember. I play that many blooming FS games and what have you. I've been doing a little bit of FS17 as well, and a little bit of FS19, and I also had a brief look the other day at FS15 and thought, well, in the future, when, you know, sort of these series do come to an end, because we can't play them forever, because otherwise, you know, people are going to get sort of fed up and bored of them. You know, we could do like a retro Friday or something where, you know, we play a game, we play a save for you know, on a Friday that could be on FS13 or FS. You know, we could do sort of like a retro Friday, which would be quite cool, quite interesting. So just little things that we can try. But yeah, as I say, it's a shame that it's knocked these ridges down, but it will only be this field, so we don't have to put up with it too much. But for the sheer fact that I kind of almost interrupted myself to say it again, does prove to me that it is getting to me, and it is starting to mess about with my OCD. But there we go. Like I say, there's not much I can do about it this time around. But as I say, we will have it complete fixed, you know, for the next fields and for the next years, you know, coming in the game. So I'm not too sure where the end of this series is going to come along. I'm not too sure at what point. I'm hoping we'll kind of naturally feel that the end has come. You know, but as I say, it's kind of originally it's set out as an introductory to Fs25, and then sort of go from there. And it's nice playing this this save. You know, I enjoy this save, but a map now has come out for Fs25 that it would appear, as I say, I spent most of yesterday for me playing it, and it was meant to be a quick look around and just kind of have a look at it, and I ended up, as I say, playing it all day because it was really enjoyable. I really enjoyed it. I really liked it. I wasn't that keen on the farm, the pre-built farm that you start with, but it was okay, and it was, you know, it was sort of livable and, you know, workable, but I wasn't that keen on it. But the actual map itself, I do really love it. I think the map maker has really gone to a great deal of trouble and detail on that map, and it really is a stunning map. And as I say, you know, I was yesterday I was actually playing Fs25 on Ultra, and I was still getting, because I've got it limited to 60 FPS at the moment, and it didn't matter what I was doing, where I was just constantly at 60 FPS. So it's an absolutely, as I say, it's a stunning map. Kind of would like to do a series on it, but as I say, with this Market Garden, you know, sort of going along at the moment, there isn't room in the schedule for it. 1950s, you know, isn't going to be decreased at all, because obviously we do 3 episodes of that a week. That isn't going to be decreased. If anything, that would get increased, because that's my sort of most best watched series. So if anything, I would do more of them, not less. You know, being a fledgling new channel, you know, views are all important to me at the moment. And you know, with that series regularly bringing in, you know, anywhere from 100 to 400 or 500 views per episode, you know, that's got to be where my sort of priority, loyalty to has got to be at the moment, because it's the one thing that I do struggle for is views on my videos. You know, not so worried about you know, the subscribers and stuff like that, just because they'll come eventually. You know, it's like, you know, to get subscribers you need views, so that's kind of where my focus is at the moment. Is okay, you know, what can I do to increase my views, and what can I do to make my videos more appealing? You know, thumbnails is not something I'm really very good at, but I have been trying over the last sort of few weeks to do a few of my own, and try and see if I can sort of tempt people in. But I'm still finding that, and because I do run comparison tests, and I'm still finding that the kind of stock thumbnail that I've been using for all the series is actually doing better than the thumbnails that I'm sort of taking the time to create and stuff. So at the moment, I don't think thumbnails are necessarily my issue. I'm still a new channel. I'm literally just a little bit over a year now that I've been doing it full time every day. And I don't think there's many days when I haven't put a video out. To be fair, I think you could count on one hand. Um, so I've been doing very well. The plan is to keep it going, and sort of just keep plugging away, really. As I say, I'm sort of lucky in the sense that I have all day, every day to do it. I sort of now that, and it was one of the reasons why I did break up with my ex, was so that I could really free my time up for this and really give it a good go. And there were other reasons and factors as well, but when I started to put all of the things together, I just sort of thought, well, I want to concentrate on my YouTube channel, and I want to concentrate on, sort of doing farming. And when it was beginning to get intimated that, they wanted me to spend less time playing the game, it's like, no, that's not happening. I was doing this when we got together. You knew full well, what was going on in my life. No. So as I say, quite a few things came together with that, and in the end, I just sort of thought, along with all the other things, and I just thought, no, maybe now's the time's right. I want to put all of my sort of concentration and effort into this. It helped that the relationship wasn't that great anyway, so I've not really missed anything, to be fair. So yeah, I just sort of carried on, but views are the priority at the moment. We've got to try and get the views up a little bit, and as I say, everything else then will follow. Yeah, I'm going to switch back to some time lapse. I think this is the biggest field, because I think it's even bigger than the last one that I just ridged. So this is the biggest field. So this is the one that's going to take the time. The reason I didn't do the little tiny field before the last field that I ridged was because I'd just be forever turning with the harvester in that field. When I sort of drove by, I just thought, no, it's not worth it. I'm going to be constantly turning that massive harvester around. As I say, it just wasn't worth it, so I decided against it in the end. Snow Hill store, it will sit there until the autumn, and then when we get the carrots off, we will. They are going to come off late. That's the only thing. So next year, these fields will be under the spring crop, whether they go cotton or something like that, because we do need a cotton harvester. So again, I'm kind of hoping that a cotton harvester is gonna. Let's just have a little look, actually, because I think I did see one in there, or perhaps I didn't. No, I didn't. Okay. I got all excited then, because I thought, oh, actually, I remember seeing one, but I didn't. 7 Series Massey Ferguson. We could. I downloaded an 8 Series the other day, so we could actually have the 7, 8, and 9 Series Massey Fergusons in our save. We could be an all Massey Ferguson farm with some Challengers. I like that Challenger. It's just a shame that for whatever reason it doesn't have the helper option on it. So I'm taking it now that you have to actually install it onto the individual tractors. I thought the GPS was on the implements, not the tractors. So that Challenger doesn't have an option for me to bring up the GPS. Hence the reason why I had to do it without. Which I don't mind doing cultivating and that without it, but I wouldn't attempt these sorts of jobs without it. Just because I would want to keep it in a dead straight line. To make sure that I was doing the best job, available, sort of thing, as possible. So I might in the future, not now, and not unless it comes up for sale, to be fair. But in the future, I might actually buy the Viper Challenger that I've got. So we could do that. But anyway, I'm going to switch back to a little bit of time lapse, and I'll see you at the end of the video when we'll do a little recap, and hopefully, fingers crossed, we will have all of the carrots planted. But anyway, I'll see you in a little while. Bye for now. Right, so I'm back, and that's got that finish, and I'm really annoyed that the game would not let me change the direction of those lines so I could actually plant the way they were going. Not a problem. We will be able to harvest them that way, even if we can't change the lines, because what we can do is it's easier to line the harvester up. The one thing I was worried about, because I thought, well, just don't do it with GPS and just sort of follow the ridge yourself. But it's really hard to tell which lines you've been down and which lines you haven't. But when you're using the GPS, a really clever feature of that GPS is that when you've been down a row, the GPS line goes really, really dull, so you can barely see it. Whereas the next one to it stands out like a lot, so you can pick between the two, or differentiate between the two. So yeah, it is a really nice little feature, that is, and I find it works very well. So there's a little bit of the recording missing. You'll at some point in the time lapse you would have jumped and thought, what happened there? So basically, it's a long-standing problem that I have with this computer. It doesn't quite have as much memory as what I now need because of recording and stuff. So originally when I bought it, I went to Chill Blast and I basically said, want a PC that can play games on the highest settings, but want to be able to sort of save as and where I can, and where you kind of think I don't need it, and whatever it may be. And they came back to me and said, we could put 8 gig of RAM in your computer that won't affect performance. The only thing is that you won't have much memory for doing other things and storing stuff on the computer. So it's sort of up to you. And at the time I wasn't doing YouTube. At the time I was, I don't save songs to my computer, I don't save videos to my computer. I literally just have my computer to play my games and look at YouTube and look at videos. So I sort of felt I didn't need the extra memory. So I didn't have it installed, but unfortunately it is now sort of kind of catching me out, because as I say, I keep running out of memory. So that's why there's a bit of a jump, because once I realised it wasn't recording, I then had to obviously leave the game and then sort of delete some videos or a video that I'd uploaded today to YouTube, which freed up enough memory for me to be able to record not only the rest of that time lapse. I'm just pleased I realised where I did, because if it had been, because I don't always look into the corner to see whether my little red dot's still there, and my little bar. So basically my sort of recording screen is, I've got a little red dot, and then it just basically tells me how long the recording's been going for and whether the microphone is engaged or not, which obviously when I'm doing time lapse the microphone isn't engaged, because I'm singing and chatting to myself and listening to got my tablet set up next to my TV as well, and so I'll be watching Time Team or anything like that, or The Apprentice and catching up on iPlayer or ITVX. So obviously you have to have the microphone disengaged. But yeah, anyway, I'm going to leave it here for this episode, and we've got everything done now that we wanted to, so we'll be able to fast forward when we come back in the next episode, which will be next week now. We will we'll have more wood to sell. We'll need to check the animals because we'll have moved on a month. Check the animals, try and see if we can get the trailer to work long enough to be able to pick up the cheese and the mozzarella and get that sold. And then, as I say, sell all of our other produce, move our other produce around where it needs moving around to, and then it'll be on to combining the rape fields that are over in that direction, just behind those sheds. So hope you've enjoyed it. Thanks ever so much for watching. I really appreciate you taking time out of your day to watch my video and to listen to me rabbit on and moan and grumble and have some fun as well. I really do appreciate it. and I really do mean it. If you haven't done already and you like my content, you like my videos, hit that subscribe button. It's absolutely free to do, and you'll get notified every time I drop a video, which is every day at 3 p.m. So thanks ever so much for watching. Bye for now.